y'all. This is the Southern Belle from Hell, and I am bringing you today a vampire motel. So, um, I got this idea just from a mix of things. I've been watching so many YouTubers make these real grungy, just disgusting, horrible hotels, and I mean horrible in the best way possible because they really do it justice. And I've seen a werewolf one, and I've seen just a dirty, grungy one. And let's see, I think the last one I watched was from Jessica Pye. I've watched one from Griffey, and I was watching American Horror Story the other day, and I was like, that was a really disgusting hotel. It was really horrible. So I wanted to kind of do something like that, but make it, a smaller version motel. It still has a pretty good bit of rooms for the Sims. It's 10 rooms for people to stay in, as well as 6 spots in the basement for the vampires who run the place. So this used to be where the Stroud Mansion sat, and I just thought this location was perfect because we've got this graveyard around us. So, what if their victims, past residents of this hotel, is out there? They can just use the whole, oh, this used to be the Stroud family mansion as like a cover. So right now I'm just playing with the roof. I wanted to make it look as creepy as possible, but not so creepy where people would be like, yeah, I'm not staying there. Some of you may not stay here, but some of you may be like intrigued and go, hey, this is kind of cool. It's kind of neat. At least from like first perceptions. So I've never made a motel or hotel type of venue before, so I'm just kind of playing around with how I wanted it to be laid out because I wanted the lobby to be nice. Not too nice, but, not something that's going to scare people off quite yet. I wanted stairs to be on the inside as well as on the outside. And right now I'm just kind of making like a little walkway area in the parking lot. And this was a strenuous build. I'm not gonna lie. There's some things I do off camera just because I was like, is this a good idea? Is this not? So this was fun. This was so much fun. And I wanted to stick with the motel theme instead of a nice hotel because we're in Forgotten Hollow. I don't think Forgotten Hollow would have a nice hotel. It just doesn't strike me as the place to have something like that. So we're going to stick with like the grungy vampire run motel look. So I had to put the gargoyles up there, and a little bit off camera, I put out a bunch of like outside plants, decor, just different things that I'm like, maybe I'll use, maybe I won't. And it's just like an idea set up, and I have it all strode out there. I know you're probably like, what the heck? But yeah, those were ideas I was tossing around, and I was like, let me do this off camera because I feel the pressure of needing to decide now when the camera's on. So I'm just like outlining the driveway. I ended up doing away with the archway that you see right here because there's already an archway leading up to this lot, and I felt like that would be too repetitive. I end up switching that out with the gargoyles that you saw at the intro to this video. And I just add some plants from the vampire stuff pack, as well as some roses, because I just feel like they would have, red roses and maybe some white roses in there. Of course, a bunch of ivy. I try to stick mainly to the vampire stuff pack because I hardly ever use it unless I'm doing a spooky build. And it is way too early for spooky season, but I have so many ideas for spooky season. And I thought about waiting to do this until Halloween, but I said, you know what? It's just so in my mind right now. I've got to get it out. And I already have so many other plans for Halloween, so this will just be one of many. I used some ground cover from the cats and dogs pack. I believe like the really dark bushes that you see, they're from the cats and dogs pack. And the creeping thorns, I just thought added a nice little element. Now I'm just playing around with like a parking space. I've never like made a big parking area. Well, I say big, it's not that big, but you know. So I ended up changing this lining out to just a simple like white fence lining because it looked more, you know, realistic at least. And I have 8 spots for vehicles. I put that little gargoyle out there, but I'm going to take it away because I want it to look creepy. Forgotten Hollow is going to be creepy. So it's, you know, it's just going to be there. But I didn't want to make it look so scary that people aren't going to stay. Because this is how the vampires are going to make their money as well as get their victims. So they need some people to live. They need people to come and visit. But I have one side of the hotel. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to laugh. One side of the hotel is rooms that they haven't fixed up quite yet. They haven't cleaned up after their latest victims completely. And then the other side, the side I'm working on the downstairs, it's like your typical grungy hotel. Just, you know, only desperate people that need somewhere to sleep is going to stay there. Upstairs is a little bit nicer. It's for like the people that they probably want to live, you know, maybe they want to change them or something. The middle is going to be the penthouse. Like, this is the room that we're going to put on our website and brochures and stuff. I figured they have to have at least one nice room to get people to come. And it's so ridiculous compared to the real state of the rooms that everyone else is staying in. So, like, I have hardly anything decorated at this point. I'm just trying to figure out like what is the layout going to be. And now I'm working on the color scheme. I still wanted it to be pretty dark. You know, not too dark to where it looks like a haunted house, but dark. You know, it's a vampire hotel. So I end up going with this because that could be on your typical house. It could be, you know. It's not like gray and white. Like it's not too spooky, but given the location, yeah, it's spooky. I have a security camera out there, and I put it on each side of the hotel. Probably the security camera doesn't work, and I decided to put in window units because what is a grungy motel without some rusted window units? I didn't know like where to put it, so I decided to put it at the bottom of, you know, every room, just trying to find an area where like Sims could still walk through, but definitely like the bottom floors I wanted it facing the front because, you know, most cheap motels, they have their big window units facing the front. Again, the lobby, it's going to be nice. It's going to be like safe. Like, come on in. This is an old motel made from the Stroud Mansion. So, you know, it's going to be eclectic. It's going to be, you know, kind of historic in ways. I wanted to go with this red wallpaper, but I didn't like the way the wood looked against the black and white checkered floor. So I end up just going with this white and black trim. And here's the dungeon. that the vampires are going to stay in, the ones that run this hotel. And I end up making 6 areas for vampires to stay. And I was thinking, like, Vladdy, he could still be there if you want him there. I kicked him out for this build, but if you want him there, why not? And the rest of the vampires, I make one for like a female, and but the rest of them it kind of looks the same, just kind of this old, ancient decor type feel. Right now I'm doing the entryways for the stairs that lead up to the other rooms. We have the stairs on the outside as well. And I'm working on the floors for the penthouse, the one that they're going to show in their advertisements and all that great stuff. Now, I wanted there to be a closet in every room because, like when I see a closet in a hotel room, it's those, sliding doors and yada yada. To me, like when people do builds and they use this, I'm like, yeah, that makes it look like you're staying at a hotel or motel room when you have like those sliding closet doors. And some rooms, most of the rooms are going to be the same because, when you stay at a hotel or motel, what have you, most of the rooms have, exactly the same stuff, the same paintings, the same decor. So I'm only going to be filming, like when I start filming, the decorations and everything, I'm only going to show you guys the rooms that are different. All the rooms have like their subtle differences, but it's basically the same. I just go from really crappy, not so crappy, to fancy penthouse that they show. So those are really like the only ones I'm going to be showing you because I feel like it would be such a long and honestly boring video if you had to see me decorate all 10 rooms almost exactly the same way. But the penthouse was super cool. Like it came out like a gothic modern with a touch of Victorian. I was like, oh, I want to stay here. I wasn't sure that I would be, unalived. But I just got so into this. I didn't want to stop working on it. I finally had to stop myself. I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this, especially after, you've watched the whole video. If you want to speed through it, I totally understand. It is kind of a long one, but I have a lot to show you guys. So now we're going to start working on the lighting of the entire place. Again, the lobby is going to have that cute little chandelier. All the rooms are going to have basically the same, like, generic saucer light. I put in a hidden, like, door where that, bookshelf is. That's going to go down to the dungeon, kind of hidden in plain sight. This penthouse is going to have a nice little chandelier. And I love that chandelier from the vintage glamour stuff. That was, it's beautiful. So decorating the lobby, again, wanted to make it look nice, but not too nice because, we're still like in Forgotten Hollow. It shouldn't be too like 5-star, at least 3.5, and still give that old retro, post-Victorian vibe. I thought the sign looked so good right here. I was so excited about the sign. I put up the little things. Oh, yeah, sorry. I randomly was like, oh, we got to put a bar in the penthouse. But I randomly just put up this, these billboards, for like notices Or have you seen these people, like missing people? And I thought it'd be so ironic because they're probably missing because they stayed here. um, so I just, kind of threw around some different decor ideas, mixing some old with some modern and sticking with the black, red, and white theme that's going on here. And I think it turned out pretty cool looking. I think it turned out better looking than, Vlad's house. I know Vlad's house was pretty cool looking, but I really hated his decor. I'm going to do a video where I redecorate his mansion. So right now I'm just decorating like the lobby end tables. I thought this black marble, well, not end table, but console table, I thought that looked so nice in here and gave exactly the right kind of style, old with a touch of modern. I put some statues here and there, kind of giving that aesthetic of, like honoring the history behind this land. Of course, I had to put the painting up of Vlad. Maybe he's still around. Maybe he's still here if you want to keep him in your gameplay. This, I thought it'd be cool to have a little like laundry area, an area, with vending machines and stuff. And, just kind of make it, at least to people that come and visit, seem like, oh, we're so accommodating. Now lighting up this dungeon, and I put like a little plasma tree down here. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe. I thank you so much if you've already subscribed. You are awesome and amazing. But lighting up this dungeon, I felt like I was in one of the dungeons in Skyrim, Elder Scrolls. It reminded me so much of that. I was getting that feeling like some dead zombie was going to pop out and get me. But I put different coffins in each one just to kind of mark like the status. There's 2 nice coffins, 2 coffins, and then 2 like old looking coffins. I wanted to give each area like, I wouldn't say their own style because it's kind of the same style, but give them little touches of their own personality. I didn't want it to just, look like the hotel rooms and be the same throughout. So some of them have different dressers. Some of them have different kinds of paintings and little pieces of clutter items on the shelf and things like that. This is just kind of the area where they come to chill in between feedings, I guess you could say. I really wanted to just line this entire area with the long runner. I thought that was just such a cool concept. And of course, give them their own, little bathrooms. Why not? They have to do their business too. I don't hardly use this stuff. I use the toilet a lot, but I don't hardly use, that sounded really wrong. I don't really use the tub and the sink a whole lot from the Vampires pack. And since they don't need mirrors, I just put the medicine cabinet up there because, they still need like their stuff for, sun protection and whatnot. So, maybe they need a little medicine cabinet to keep all of that stuff in. And of course, they've got to have an organ. I mean, what vampire doesn't have an organ? Even Lestat has an organ. The only vampire I can think of that didn't have one really was, what was it, Lost Boys? Maybe he did. I mean, Edward Cullen, he had a piano. Close enough. I put some dark like stains around the bricks. It's very, very subtle, but I still thought it was cool to have just that little differentiation between the bricks, you know, like just minor details and things like that, that, you know, unless you're really like deep into your gameplay and you're looking around, you probably wouldn't spot it. So I'm scattering around some old paintings, and the one with the white coffin and the painting with, you know, the vintage glamour actress. I don't know, I'm picturing like a vampire that was maybe changed in the 20s or 30s, maybe even 40s. And, you know, she's a little vain. She's all about herself. I put some makeup in her little area. And I try to put, you know, books, little plasma packs, plasma fizzy drinks, just little things that give each space their own personality. Some rooms have art pieces. Some rooms have, you know, like a chessboard, or like, even though they don't need glasses, maybe he took some glasses. Just maybe he thought it was interesting. Maybe he wore glasses in life. You know, just like little things to give it something different. Now we are moving on to the rooms that haven't been cleaned yet. These are the rooms where their victims, they, you know, they took their blood and everything, and they've just kind of left the room. I wouldn't say as is, but they haven't finished making it guest worthy yet. Maybe we've got some vampires that have the lazy or the slob trait. And I got the idea to make this sign a headboard from Jessica Pie. And I went, that is perfect, because that would look like a grungy motel bed, you know, just that, you know, little blow up mattress with a headboard and footboard at each end. That's a perfect look for what, you know, I'm going for. So I stole that idea from her. I can't take the credit for that. But it looks perfect. Like, it looks like a headboard and footboard that's, you know, seen better days. Now, the bathroom for this one and the floor above it, it's gonna be pretty nasty. It's gonna have some objects that the victims unfortunately left behind, poor Sims, and the vampires haven't, you know, disposed of it just yet. You know, some combs, toothpaste, toothbrush, maybe the struggle to get their blood was a little, so there's some claw marks, and I got just some like generic looking paintings, you know, like typical paintings you would see in an old hotel room, from the ranch pack, which usually looks so cute in like my little cottage or ranch house builds, but in here it looks kind of creepy, which is what I'm going for. And I just have the windows covered because maybe the last windows, like the curtains, got messed up. Now watch what I do with this skeleton here. I was so excited to execute this idea. So I rotated the skeleton and I slowly move it to the bed, and I lower it down a little bit more because I know you can still see the stand, because it's supposed to be like for the science or medical career. And I make it look like the victim, like the body was never moved. I thought that was so awesome. Yeah, so it just looks like there's a body in the bed. If that's too graphic, I am so sorry, but I had this idea, like, what if I could do that and make it work? And I had to. You could still see the stand a little bit where the skeleton's feet are, but depending on your angle, you really can't see it that much. So now we're on the other side of the hotel, and it's a little bit nicer. Not very nice, just a little bit. This is for, the people that may potentially be their victims, that are desperate for a place to stay. They just need a place to crash for the night. And I wasn't sure what to do with, like the TV and stuff like that, but I found this dresser and I'm like, that looks like something that would be in your, your typical hotel room. So I put another dresser next to it and a little TV. And I put a tiny kitchenette. And here I have more of like a aesthetic, not a big one because this isn't supposed to be fancy, but black and white and red. That's going to be like the color scheme. That's the color scheme of the nicer parts of the hotel. So that's what we're going to do. And I found, these paintings, and I can't remember, I think it just comes with like the base pack where you change the colors, but they have like, the same prints with, different prints with the same color. And I just put that in all the hotel rooms because that's usually what, most hotels have. They have a color scheme and it's just different prints. I make the bathrooms a little bit bigger on this side, a little bit nicer, but not very nice. Little accommodations like, soap and hand lotion, things like that. And I kind of just stick with the same decor throughout. And let's see, we are going to go now to the upstairs part. Upstairs is nicer again, just a little bit. And maybe it's for the people that are coming to stay that they don't necessarily want to kill because they still have to make money. They can't just be killing everybody, or no one would ever come. So we have kind of the same setup, just some appliances are a little bit nicer, some areas are a little bit bigger. Still, grungy looking walls. The bed is still just a used futon. It is nothing glamorous. It's just better than the other ones. And I really liked how this turned out because at least I know I've been to a Days Inn or two and it's kind of been like this. Just like trying to find some place to sleep because you've been driving, traveling, and you're like, I don't care, just, something that's open. And I put this VIP bucket in all of the rooms with candles because what if you have like at least most of your clientele are people that just want to stop for the night or the evening to get their woohoo on and they don't have a whole lot of money. And with this new pack coming out, Love Struck, I think that would go really well. So now I'm going to be moving on and decorating like just, I don't even know what to call this area, just the hallway, I guess, in between the crappy hotel rooms and the nicer hotel rooms. And again, trying to make it look nice for pictures and people walking through and stuff before they are faced with the reality of their hotel room. So, I've got some easels up, sticking with the black, red, and white decor, and this grand entrance to the penthouse, this area that's going to be really nice, and probably people that come say, oh yeah, I want this room, and they're like, oh, it's booked. But really, they just, if they do have people in it, it's probably people like that they want to impress, or they're like, yeah, we're going to change this person and welcome them into our vampire coven, clan, group, club, whatever you call it. So I'm just decorating the landings to the stairs, and now we are at my favorite part, which is the penthouse. And this just turned out so cool. It's like just this gothic aesthetic with, the Victorian little art pieces, but with modern touches here and there, and I loved it. I want to do more of that because it turned out so cool to me, at least. So yeah, it's got the nice fireplace, it's got the nice TV, it's got, you know, your own little bookshelf. It's got a bigger kitchenette with nicer appliances, a little coffee machine. It's got a little bar section. And the bathroom is, you know, a pretty good size. You got a little jacuzzi tub I'm going to put in there. Ah, it's like, oh, this is in Forgotten Hollow. I'm going to go there and check it out. Psych. I don't know. I just had so much fun with this build. I absolutely loved it. I really kind of honed in on the American Horror Story Coven. No, not Coven. Hotel on this one. I built the Coven house, which is the Buckner Mansion, but I didn't record it because it was before I had this channel. But I'm going to rebuild that and post it. But yeah, I was trying to hone into like Lady Gaga's little, you know, I wouldn't say little, it was huge, apartment in that hotel. I was trying to kind of channel that and put that out there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I am so sorry. But if you do know what I'm talking about, yeah, that was an awesome, awesome show. So the decor, it's so hard with these walls. But I think the decor ended up pretty good. Again, just sticking with the black, white, and red to, you know, make this area more cohesive. And we're about to be done with this penthouse, and we're going to just put some finishing touches around the outside. And yeah, I just love this penthouse. I think I did, well, you know, I'm going to like clap myself on the back on this one. Like, this is something that would draw people to come and stay, I think. And I think the last thing I do, yeah, is put up the area like where you can hang your keys and things like that. All right, so usually I do this kind of at the beginning, but I really didn't know what to do with the outside besides what I had already done. And I said, you know what? I've never used the red ivy. And wouldn't that add a different element to the outside? You know, pretty, but creepy. And so I just kind of scatter around the exterior of this hotel, not the front, but just the exterior to make the back of it a little bit more interesting. This red ivy with the red brambles, and I think it turned out kind of pretty, you know, like even if this was creepy to some people, at least, you know, others would be like, oh, this, you know, this hotel is so nice, look at the ivy crawling up, oh, it's so pretty. I'm just picturing like these poor victims being lured in like in a spider's web. But that was kind of part of the fun of making it. It's just imagining different scenarios. I put a little dumpster in the back, red dumpster. You know, maybe they like to dumpster dive. Put some lights and some finishing touches. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.